Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 3 of the All About The Metaverse podcast. Super excited today. I have my co-host Alexis with me. Hey, Alexis.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Chris. Hi to our growing community. Delighted to be here. Nice to tag along with this third episode. Looking forward for some more, even though the state of the metaverse is being a little bit limping here and there. But as long as the metaverse survives, I hope I'll survive. Yeah?
The good news is it's not just about us today, and actually hopefully somebody's going to tell us all about the good things that are happening in the metaverse right now. So without further ado, introducing Gaurang, our guest today, CEO of Indorse. The guy has been working on all sorts of projects, whether it be NFT projects with blockbots, getting gaming systems together so that people could use digital assets within video games. But more importantly, recently he has also co-developed the ERC 5606, which we're going to talk about in more detail. But Gaurang, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, guys. Hi, how are you doing?
Well, wait, I'll put my hands together for that 5606 achievement. Well done. Well done. Bravo.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long road as well, right? So, I've been writing smart contracts for the last 6-7 years now, since 2016, and I think this is the first time I have written an EIP, which has actually gotten accepted and finalized, and now it's ERC 5606. I'm really proud of that. Yeah, thanks.
Well, let's tell people what ERC 5606 is, what it does, why you created it. Tell us a little bit about that.
So ERC 5606, we call it Multiverse NFTs. And, we believe that there's never going to be one metaverse which rules them all. There's going to be a lot of metaverses. There's going to be a lot of Web3 games. And each of these metaverses, each of these Web3 games, they're going to use NFTs in the near future. Already a lot of them are using NFTs, but NFTs are going to become mainstream in these games and in these metaverses. So literally everything you do, everything you buy, everything you own will be an NFT. And in the future, what needs to happen is these NFTs need to be interoperable. So, the holy grail of metaverses, the holy grail of Web3 gaming, is that you should be able to take one weapon or like one item from one metaverse to another, one game to another. And that's what we are trying to achieve with this new ERC 5606. We want to create interoperable NFTs. We want to create a standard so that all these metaverses and Web3 games can adopt these interoperable NFTs. And, from the ground up, when you're creating your NFTs, when you're creating your in-game items, they should be interoperable. So that's what this is all about.
So what we're talking about here really is the idea that if I bought something, oh, sorry, Alexis, I think there's a delay again today. But if you imagine this, so I buy one particular item, let's say sunglasses as a good example. So I buy a set of sunglasses, and if I buy that particular Multiverse NFT, it means that I can then use that in multiple different worlds. So things like Decentraland or Sandbox or Voxels or Somnium Space or wherever it might be. But I'd be able to use that same item in those different universes.
Yes, that's the basic idea. So the way it works is what we have done is we have kind of created like a wrapper NFT. So using the ERC 5606 standard, you create something that we call a wrapper NFT, which is an NFT at the top level. And this NFT essentially encapsulates all the different incarnations or all the different avatars of your sunglasses in these various metaverses. Because one problem right now is that the sunglasses that you're wearing in real life or in one metaverse, they are not compatible with other metaverses. So for example, Decentraland has high fidelity 3D graphics, while Sandbox has voxels. And let's say another metaverse has some different style of 3D graphics. So your sunglasses need to be designed in different ways. Your metadata will be different for each of these metaverses, and hence the same pair of sunglasses, the same file will not be compatible with all these metaverses. So the way ERC 5606 works is you buy one wrapper NFT which is at the top, and this NFT actually gives you the ownership. This gives you access to all the versions of your sunglasses across these games or these metaverses. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question, Goran. It sounds that it's okay. Redundant is not the word, but it seems to be quite of a difficult undertaking to design, that particular design that suits every metaverse out there. So now, obviously, as you know, with the emergence of AI, are you guys planning to, implement some AIs attached to that to that system in order, to facilitate, so when you mint your NFT in 5606 standard, the AI behind is already, like generating it, suitable for 5 to 10 metaverses.
No, that's a great and intriguing idea, right? So, actually, just I was reading another report. So, Adobe, they released their own AI now, and you can touch your videos and you can do some color corrections and everything in videos and in photographs using Adobe. And that's crazy, right? Because I just remember ChatGPT came out like last year or something, and things are moving so fast. So, you never know what's going to happen, right? Because, see, at the end of the day, if you take the same example, sunglasses, what you need to do is you need to make sure that these sunglasses are actually compatible with all these different file formats. And I'm sure there will be an AI which can convert these things into different file formats. There will be some loss of graphics. There will be some loss of what you call the crispness, for example. But I think that's okay. As long as your sunglasses can be worn in different metaverses, different games, I think that's what we all want, because we don't want to be buying, or let's say we don't want to spend $100 on buying sunglasses that work in Decentraland. You don't want to spend another $100 for sunglasses that work in Sandbox, and you don't want to spend another $100 for sunglasses that work in Fortnite or let's say Call of Duty, because you want to buy the one item just one time and you want to use it everywhere, right? So I'll give you an example, right? So let's say, Alexis, you live in Thailand, Chris lives in London, and we live in the UK. If we buy a pair of shoes or if we buy a pair of sunglasses, and if I'm coming to Thailand, the Thai people, they cannot say, hey, you can't wear these shoes here because they're not compatible in Thailand, right? That's stupid.
Watch them.
And
they're gonna go, no can do. Buy a new pair here in Thailand. No, sir.
Somebody in customs in Thailand is like, that challenge accepted. Gorang is now on the watch list when he arrives. Excuse me, sir, you're going to have to take those shoes off. They're not compatible in Thailand.
For real.
Yeah, but that's what is happening in Metaverse right now. There's like so much gatekeeping right now. These items don't work in other metaverses, and we want that to happen. Simple as that. Yeah.
We've just talked a little bit and we've broached onto the subject of like AI, and I think this is really important here. Like, what, in your opinion, Gaurang, what does AI and the metaverse look like? How does that come together? Because I'm reading a lot, I'm seeing a lot, and there's probably a couple of different schools of thought, from imagine how amazing it would be to have procedurally generated characters, procedurally generated items, etc. All of this could be created by AI in the future. And I think this is a huge kind of moment of, oh, this is very exciting. So what do you think that future looks like? How does AI and the metaverse play together in the future?
Yeah. AI. AI is here to stay. AI is not going away. We might or might not have autonomous agents in the next 5 to 10 years, but AI will help, or AI will augment whatever we are doing in just life-changing ways, right? So ChatGPT, it can actually do some nice coding. I would say ChatGPT is at the level of a junior developer. It has some bugs, it has some problems, but that's what junior developers do, right? Their code has
and
some
senior
problems.
developers sometimes,
and some senior developers, yeah. So the code is not very optimized, but the same principle can be applied to graphic design. It can be applied to video editing. It can be applied to multiple other things. Even in crypto, you can see a lot of companies, you can see a lot of projects who are combining AI and crypto. So metaverse is just another use case for AI, and I think AI will be game changing for metaverses quite soon. And imagine, right, when you combine AI and metaverse, that's going to be like just mind boggling. See, the basic premise of a metaverse is that you have humans who go there and interact with other humans. But if you read some really amazing sci-fi novels like all the metaverse books, you'll see that there are some AI agents in there as well. So you'll have humans and you'll have AI agents. And these AI agents can maybe start creating things. They can start creating new items. They can start creating new experiences in the metaverse. And I think that's going to be really cool. Yeah.
And then that's when we end up with either the Matrix or Skynet,
Well,
right?
actually,
That's what we're
yesterday
talking about.
Believe it or not, but yesterday night I showed the Matrix to my young wife because she's never watched it, and well, besides the fact that he aged pretty well, it was pretty freaky to see this. And I don't know if you guys watch it recently. It's a stunning movie for sure. But definitely a bit.
But
chilling.
Alexis, on that point, all these autonomous agents are being created. Like, that's happening right now. you know.
Well, actually, so this is a really
Yeah.
good point as well, Gaurang. So I'm sure you saw recently the news of people like Elon Musk signing together an open letter saying, we don't understand what the impacts of OpenAI and what they're currently doing and the ChatGPT models. And they've basically kind of asked everyone to slow down and to have a bit of a break, right? To have 6 months of pause before they try and release a new model. Now, that was only, I think, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that kind of letter came out. Since then, I believe Elon Musk has announced that he's raising funds for a new startup to build his own AI, which I think is cheeky as hell, right? You guys stop working for 6 months and I'll build something at the same time. But what is your thoughts on that? Like, how quickly could this progression, and I'm not going to say cause problems like the Matrix, but make people unemployed? Definitely. I can see this being a big thing quite quickly, right?
Well. This show is called like All About the Metaverse, not All About the AI. Well, what's going on?
It's going to be a piece of, it's going to be a big piece of the advancement of the of metaverse, I believe. I think AI is one of the things that's going to make the metaverse. It's either going to make it or break it, really. I mean, we're looking for something that makes it a game changer.
You have to be integrated with the with AI for sure. I mean, AI will have a lot of saying into the metaverse, right?
Yeah, so one problem in one of our earlier podcasts, Alexis, we had discussed one problem where most of the metaverses right now are empty. So essentially, there's very few people in there. There are not a lot of things that you can do in the metaverse. So I think if you actually add autonomous agents in there, it might not, some Puritan people, they might not like this idea. But if you add some autonomous agents in there, it might just become a little interesting. So if you are in an area, if you're in a town, there's no one there, no activities happening. But if you have some autonomous agents, you can maybe go and fight with them. You can go and do some activities with them. That might just make it interesting. So yeah.
Good segue. I wanted to ask you a bit of a tricky question, and not because I want to corner you, but I mean, you're writing new NFT standards, so you will definitely have an opinion on that one. Why metaverses are empty? Why nobody's interested? What's happening there? You building the whole entire infrastructure to make the metaverse fun, and all the fun is seeped away. So what's up with that?
Yeah. That actually you just answered your own question, Alexis.
All right, so moving on to the next question.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to today's episode.
Okay.
So the infra is there, the websites are there, the apps are there, right? But the problem right now is with the content creation. So there's not a lot of content out there. So you can go into the metaverse, you can be there, but there's nothing for you to consume, right? So if you go to like Facebook or Twitter or TikTok, for example, every second you're getting bombarded by like hundreds and thousands of like videos and silly reels and all these things, right? But in the metaverse, you just don't have that. If you go into gaming, there's like so many games out there. For example, CSGO is still being played because there are players there who want to go and start killing each other, for example. But in the metaverse, you don't have that. You don't have the content. You don't have the critical mass right now. And I think that's why it's lagging in adoption. Once you get that, I think it will take off definitely. And again, the fiasco with the Meta, Facebook did not help last year, right? So the brand image of metaverses is kind of tarnished right now. But I think it will come back. So yesterday I was talking with Eddie, and what we were discussing is if you look at the life cycle of any technology adoption, metaverses are in the disillusionment phase right now. So people are thinking, oh, it's just a passing fad, it's not going to take off, but it will be there, and it will become mainstream.
It will all come together once porn goes to the metaverse. Mark my words. Porn has to go to the metaverse. Really,
and this is why I've marked this podcast as not safe for children.
What? This is just a word. Pornography. Pornography is what made internet so damn popular. I mean, who cared about internet before people could watch pornography? Like, you try to do like some nice pornography on the metaverse, you see people will be doing stuff. Like, for real.
Well, to be fair, it's quite interesting actually, because that has been a subject for a lot of things, including formats for years, right? So it was long before the internet. The conversation was actually what formats, like in terms of DVD, Blu-ray versus, do you remember laser discs? that
Yeah,
had their
of
little
course.
time, and basically the porn industry was one of the big kind of shifters that went towards DVDs, and bang, it happened. It moved very quickly, and
And then
actually
it's
that's
same for the
happened quite a
internet.
few times. And I think
And same, yeah,
yeah, and the
same for the
internet as
internet.
well,
Yeah,
the same sort of thing. And
yeah.
again, you see these things. I think there's a lot of momentum to still happen for the metaverses, but I get what Gaurang and Alexis, you've said it as well. Currently, they're just not fun. That's the problem, right? It's just not fun. If you go in there, the three of us go and walk around and we go, well, what do we do now? Or the three of us can jump on a game of Fortnite and have a great laugh, like, playing with 100 other people.
We should do a black T-shirt meetup in in one metaverse. Let's see how many. Let's do a happening. Let's see how many people. Let's see how many people have black T-shirts in at least 3 different metaverses using the 5606 NFT standard.
Well,
Let's
wasn't
see.
it Ready Player Me? Like, I think Ready Player One, sorry, the film,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah,
like the
yeah.
characters, the bog standard is a pair of jeans and a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
So we're fine. We never have to buy digital assets. We're okay. Black t-shirt, I'm good to go.
Okay,
And
so
I can
Gaurang,
wear that in multiple countries and multiple cities as well. No one is going to stop me wearing my black t-shirt.
Except Thailand,
right.
you're definitely on a short list in Thailand from now on.
So another question for you, Gaurang. Again, tricky question, not just to make yourself extremely uncomfortable. What do you think is the nicest metaverse out there to develop on? What is the nicest one? What's the most fun? And answer from the answer with your developer hat on, and then with your like user on.
Yeah, so with a user perspective, I would say Decentraland, because you can use it right now. Sandbox is definitely great and I love it, but you can't use it. They're not open yet, so they are doing some public alpha again and again. I don't know when they are going to open up or if they are going to open up, but
Okay, Sandbox, if
Decentraland
you
is
can
really good
hear
for
us,
building
that's a
and
message for you.
producing.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Okay.
they
I
do
hope
need to open up.
Sandbox you heard the message.
No, they're amazing. I love it, but yeah, it's just not open, so we can't use it. So what are we going to do? So yeah, I think the top 2 options right now are like Decentraland and Voxels. But yeah, I think Decentraland has more people using it. So if you build something in Decentraland, there's a chance that it might get used by other people, and yeah, you'll have to spend less effort on marketing it, for example. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Gaurang, because recently we saw the Fortnite, basically massive announcement, right? They've opened up their Unreal Engine. They've said to their community, go crazy, build whatever you want, have fun. You can monetize it. And if people buy it, we'll give you 40% of the revenue that's generated. For me, I'm looking at Fortnite right now and going, this is a metaverse, because it doesn't matter what sort of game you want to create or experience. It doesn't even have to be a game. It can just be a wandering around in nature if you wanted it to be. This to me is a metaverse. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A metaverse can be anything. It's not constrained to like something that is called a metaverse. A metaverse is a concept, I would say, right? Yeah.
So how do we get these Web3 metaverses? And I'm going to start referring to them as Web3 metaverses. So the sandboxes, the Decentralands, and everybody else involved. How do we get them to start actually realizing that the fun part is what makes Fortnite have, I think, we talked about this, Alexis, last time, right? 400 million monthly active users or something crazy like that. I mean, we're not talking about 1% in Decentraland of the Fortnite audience. We're talking about 0.001% maybe. And I think this is a massive thing, right? How do we get these Web3 metaverses to start embracing this, right? We need it to be fun. It needs to be a game. It needs to get people involved, and it needs to have that community around it. Otherwise, there's just nothing there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just as an example, in Decentraland, one of the most popular apps and like the places there is Ice Poker, which is a gambling game. So it has a lot of traction. It has a lot of people actually playing that poker. But see, right now the problem with Web3 metaverses is that most people actually look at it for getting some tokens or earning some money really. So it's not about actually going and engaging and having fun. It's about earning money somehow, and I think that's a big problem. These metaverses need to pivot from there, and they need to focus on the fun part. They need to focus on the engagement. See, they're trying to do partnerships with these big brands like Adidas, Nike, all these shoe brands, or some singers and all these things. That's good. You might have some concerts there, but I think gaming is one definitely crucial aspect that needs to be in there. So you need to have some fun games, you need to have some fun experiences, and where people can go and keep playing it again and again and again and again. And yeah, just have something to do there. I think that's very important.
Okay, well, let's wait for the fun to happen again. Now, let's talk a little bit about like next moving trends. Okay, we spoke about AI. We spoke about like all those metaverses that what they need to do in order to attract more people. How do you see maybe people creating? I'm talking about a trend, right? This is just like sort of brainstorming, but I want to have your opinion on this. What do you think about people creating their own little metaverses? Like, now you have AI supercharging, the ability for people to create their own little metaverse. For example, if tomorrow I want to create my little open metaverse for everybody to come and join and have fun, and that would be a very, not long-lasting metaverse. For example, like it would last 10 days. And within these 10 days, people will go completely insane in my metaverse. Do you think something like that could fly?
No, that's a great question. And let me just dive a little deeper into this on the technical side, right? So there are two aspects to this. The first aspect is the tech side, the infrastructure, the infra. So creating that infra itself. So when you're talking about creating a metaverse, so there are two aspects. One is creating the infra itself. So something like Fortnite, something like Sandbox, something like Decentraland, where you have a system, where you have a platform where people can come and create their experiences. And the second aspect there is creating something where people will come and do something. So let's say, Alexis, you want to do your own metaverse. I don't think it makes sense, or I don't think it's possible to do a new metaverse or a new protocol or a new platform very easily. It
You're
takes a
such a
lot of
hater.
time. No, it takes a lot of time. It will take you at least 2 to 3 years to make something good, make something that is robust, and that's something that millions of people can use. But I think the best way to go right now is to use something that already exists, like Fortnite or like Decentraland. Go there, buy some land. In Sandbox, you can buy some amazing land, and then
For
you
very
can build a
cheap at the
great
moment.
experience. Yeah, very cheap at the moment. Yeah, and you can build a great experience there, and that's something that you're talking about, right? So you can buy that land, you can build that experience for 10 days, you can bring it down, you can build something new on the same land, and I think that's something that will create a lot of engagement. Yeah, so there's no point in creating a new platform, no point in creating a new protocol. You can do it obviously, but you need massive investment for that, millions of dollars and multiple years.
Talking of multiple years, millions of dollars, and everything else, did you see the other side Trip 2?
No, I haven't actually. Yeah.
Okay. We'll leave it there. Then, if you haven't seen anything from it, then I won't ask you any questions. I'm just intrigued because I think this is another one of those
I need to check it out. Yeah.
moments. Yeah, I think that's another one of those moments where we're talking about bringing lots of people together and stuff, and I think that's one of the interesting ones to watch for now. But again, like you said, not like Decentraland that's actually open and you can do stuff. It's very much a closed beta at the moment, or closed alpha, depending on which way you want to talk about it. So that's a different conversation. I think we're going to wrap up really simply with one last question, and I think I already know because I think you actually answered it in part in and amongst these other questions. But for you, Gaurang, you don't see this as being one metaverse to rule them all, do you?
No, 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 not at all, not at all. Yeah. So Alexis wants to do a metaverse every 10 days. I'm saying we won't. Maybe we won't get there. But there will be dozens of metaverses out there, and that's why we are creating this standard ESC 5606 to create interoperability between those standards. There won't be one metaverse, but we want you to have one item that can be used across those metaverses. As simple as that.
Perfect. Gaurang, thank you so much for your time today. It's been
Thank
absolutely
you.
fantastic to talk about this. And again, we're going to leave some links down below to the ERC 5606 so people can find out more. And again, if you are working on a project or anything else and you want to look at how you can use Multiverse NFTs to help your project, simply have a look in the show notes. You'll find a way to get in contact with Gaurang directly and be able to talk to him in more detail. Gaurang, thank you so much. Alexis, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you all in the next episode.
Thank you, Goran. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.